Welcome to Breakfast with Bridgett. I'm Bridgett Ellison and hope that you had a great weekend. We got off to an early start here at News 6. We were hoping for the Glen rocket launch. The window opened up at 1 a.m., but they scrubbed it just after 3 a.m. So we'll wait and see what is next, but definitely exciting times. And it's cool as you get ready to step out this morning. Chief Meteorologist Candace Campos is in the Pinpoint Weather Center getting us ready for another week of weather. And so I always compare our weekly outlooks to rides. So compared to last week, what type of ride is this going to be for us this week?
Ooh, okay. Let me think. This week's ride's going to be more like the, what's the one at Magic Kingdom that it's in the kiddie ride?
Oh, a kiddie ride? Okay.
The goofy one.
Goofy flying basket thing.
Yeah, it's like
Barnstormer.
Barnstormer.
Oh, yes. All right.
So because we're gonna have a little up, a little down, but it's not like a drastic drop. We're not doing any crazy severe weather loop-de-doops or anything like that. We're just gonna keep it kind of fun, right?
That's positive. I like that. I
right?
like to hear that.
All right.
Okay.
So Barnstormer kind of week. I like this. We need to. You know what? I need
a daily ride.
I know. Let's get Haley. I'm gonna put her on a mission. I need her to go take pictures of different ride roller coasters, and then in my forecast, we can put what kind of roller coaster. See, this is how we come up with ideas.
Promotion too, because that's you have your theme park scoops newsletter.
Right.
Haley's putting together with all the theme park news, so you can stay on top of that. But then you also, for comparison's sake, have a weather outlook that ties in. See.
And to thank her, I'll create content by putting a forecast in her Inside the Loop theme park scoops.
Yes. Like it, share it.
Let's see if the bosses are watching, because that will come through real fast. All right, let's talk about your weather forecast. Barnstormer kind of weather today. We're going to start to climb a little bit this afternoon, nearing about 70 already. It's much warmer than where we were yesterday at this hour. But we have another front that's going to be coming through. Not so much today in the afternoon, but more as the sun goes down. That's when our best shot for rain will come. So showers will be around. We will notice more of those clouds lingering. It's not going to be a bright blue sky kind of day. We will see a few peaks of sunshine in the forecast with temperatures again nearing 70. Then once that front clears, the real noticeable weather really won't come in until tomorrow afternoon. The overnights, it's going to take a little bit of time to get that cold air in place, more sunshine. Highs are going to be staying very close to the 50s. Lows will be back down into the 40s, right? Then as we head into the weekend, we're going to climb up a little further with highs back into those mid-70s both Saturday and Sunday. So here's the culprit for the next change. You can see there comes that cold front bringing in plenty of moisture in from the Gulf of Mexico. As it continues to crisscross the state later on today, it will start ramping up those rain chances a bit. So let's show you here. Clouds and rain forecast. See the cloudy skies? That's going to be the name of the game, at least for a little bit. Then we are watching the bulk of the moisture still to our north, even just north of our viewing area as late as about 3 o'clock. Then that line comes through. There will be some scattered showers that will kind of break off a little bit. Some pockets of some moderate rain can't be ruled out. Thunderstorm chance doesn't look likely. Real high numbers of rainfall accumulation also not looking very high, as a lot of this rain will kind of come in and out. Rain chance today about 40 to 50%. But the higher you are, you notice that big line stuck around for a little bit. So the rain chances and the timing will, of course, be very dependent on where you live. Then that cold front finally clears. You see the cloud cover finally squeegeeing out of here, but it won't be until Tuesday afternoon. That's where that noticeably cooler air will start up. And the moment we got those clear skies overhead, it will be Tuesday night and into Wednesday, which is when those temperatures overnight will be colder. So rain chances for today, you can see much higher the further north you go. And then the rain chances will start to kind of break off a little bit down to about a 40 to 50% along the I-4 corridor. And then further south down to only about a 20% in southern Brevard County. So we're going to stay mild today. We're going to tap into a nice little plume of cooler air that's going to come in from the north through at least Thursday and Friday. And then there'll be another surge of mild weather as we head into the weekend. So out the door right now, these are what temperatures look like. Low to mid 50s as we take you here hour by hour. Highs today about 69 degrees or so, but notice the rain chances do trend higher the later you go. Once that's all said and done, here comes that little fun dip in the barnstormer. We're going to be down into those upper 50s, low 60s. It looks like the coldest day could be Wednesday. The coldest morning could be Friday morning. And then we'll start rebounding those temperatures back into the mid 70s. So not a horrible looking forecast at all. It looks like we're going to kind of bookend the 7-day with a little bit of rain. We do need some rain. We've been doing a lot of coverage about the wildfires in California, their drought, and their weather situation is completely different than anything we experience here, obviously. But it does bring up the conversation of droughts this time of the year. It's one of those things that we don't want to always have rain to deal with in January because we enjoy these nice cooler days. But we got to get a little bit of rain into the forecast, because what happens is if we stay dry for a couple weeks, couple months, then we start going into that March, April, where we start getting some lightning storms, but not tons of rain. And that's what creates our fire season problem. So right now we're abnormally dry across most of Central Florida. So we're not in a scary situation with drought, but certainly we need to add some rain to those rain gauges across Central Florida.
Yeah. About how many weeks do we have left before it would be probably like a crisis as far as it being too dry?
No, I think we have time. We buffered up really nicely after kind of a late season. Our late season was pretty rainy, so that kind of buffered us pretty well. We just need to get a couple of fronts, and that will happen more as we head into February, where the fronts don't make its way. Because right now these fronts have been packing such a punch. They come through, they bring a quick blast of rain, and then that's it. We need some fronts to come in and kind of almost stall and kind of fall apart, where it kind of keeps things a little more unsettled. That would be ideal. Not the entire month of February, but we got to get by.
But for this month so far, because it's already the 13th, so you think we're going to come out sort of lower than average for the rainfall for January?
Yeah, right now it looks like we're going to be sliding a little further down the drought through February, unfortunately. Yeah.
All right. Interesting.
Yeah.
All righty. Thank you, Candace. See
You're
you
welcome.
soon. All right.
Bye.
Bye. It's time to get a check of that traffic, too. Get you ready to head out the door and buckle up. Trooper Steve is standing by. And you're feeling better. That's good.
I am feeling way better. I say I'm functioning at about 90% at this point. Have some medicine on board, but way better than last week, Bridgett. That cold that's been going around, it's kicking butt.
Yeah. I thought it was getting
not
me
nice.
over the weekend. I thought, uh-oh.
Yeah, it's like the cough went away, the throat's better, but the fatigue is just a little there. Other than that, I'm blessed and favored this morning, so I'm happy about that.
Good
But what
deal.
is not is our roadways. We have major issues right now along I-4, and we haven't seen delays like this in quite some time. So this is DOT cam right at par. It's going to be eastbound lanes of I-4 are so bad right now because of two separate crashes. So the Orlando Police Department's working one here, eastbound I-4 at par. And then you have the left lane blocked. Then further east from there at Fairbanks, there's another crash, which has only the left lane open. So you're kind of zigzagging through the highway at this point. Please be careful. You're backed up from Fairbanks all the way down past the Cayley area at this point, and that is not a good way to start the morning. So please increase the following distance. Make sure you're good to go from there. We're starting to see those westbound delays over in Lake Mary this morning. No crashes. Please do not cause one, because then we're going to have westbound problems. Other DOT cams around Central Florida showing we're doing okay east of County Road 532, routine, which is Champions Gate. Tractions area, you can see that construction project out there, but traffic is moving good. And then over, of course, a University Park out by UCF, we're good to go. Bridgett, my truck is down this morning, so we will not have a Trooper Steve on patrol. Just found out a little while ago. Look at that. But
hey, that bike is back there. The Trooper Steve bike is back there.
Go. Hey, don't play. I'll go down OBT. I know, but I need an equipment and all that stuff and a spotter. So, head over to clickorlando.com. Last week on Friday, I had an amazing conversation with a fireman from Madison, Wisconsin. And for the past couple of years, he has been running marathons throughout the country in full firefighter gear in order to raise awareness about mental health, PTSD, and just start conversations with first responders. We had a really good conversation at the Clicko studio, and that's posted now at clickorlando.com. So check that out today. Outside of that, I'm going to be focused on some things. I just got notified about another issue on the turnpike right now.
No.
Let me tell you about that. I don't have the graphic for it. At the 281. So I do believe drivers need to be careful through that area. I'm not sure on the shutdown at this point, but it appears that there's going to be some police activity out there.
Oh, boy. So we've got 3 big ones going on right now. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Well, we'll see you for updates over on the TV. Thank you.
Yes, ma'am. See you later.
All righty. See you. Like we mentioned earlier, the new Glen was supposed to launch early this morning, but that has been scrubbed for now. The company hoping to get this thing off the ground for the first time very soon. It is a big mission, and it hopes to not only compete with SpaceX, but also launch their own new network of satellites for Amazon. Now, News 6's James Sparvero was there for it all and has more on the technical issues keeping the rocket grounded, at least for now.
So people who thought they were going to see the first launch of the New Glenn rocket, they're going home disappointed. I noticed just about every other person coming out to watch it tonight just talked about how big the rocket was right there, just a few miles away. Well, just a few miles from there at Mission Control in the rocket factory where New Glenn was made, Blue Origin led the broadcast tonight. They continually added an extra 20 or 30 minutes to the countdown clock, and then ultimately, just after 3 o'clock, they decided to stand down. They wouldn't specify exactly what the problem was. We believe it's a technical problem with New Glenn. It was going to be the first orbital flight of any Blue Origin rocket since Jeff Bezos founded the company 25 years ago now. Now we'll look to see when Blue Origin decides to try again. We'll update you right here on News 6 and clickorlando.com. In Cape Canaveral, Brevard County, I'm James Sparvero, Getting Results News 6.
All right, so when we hear, we'll let you know, of course, with push alerts, and we'll post that on clickorlando.com as well as on our newscast when they will post another window to try to get the New Glenn rocket launched with Blue Origin. Now to the latest in California, where at least now 24 people have been killed from these wildfires across the Los Angeles area. Officials now say that more than 60 square miles have been burned, and it is one of the largest. The so-called Palisades fire is only 13% contained. News 6's Angie Casada is following the latest and explains the biggest worries headed into this week with this firefight.
Firefighters are racing to contain wildfires that have destroyed over 40,000 acres and over 10,000 structures. With red flag warnings in effect, strong winds are expected to fuel the flames through Wednesday.
This wind event is approaching us, and it's approaching us very, very quickly.
Thousands of families are left with nothing.
It's still heartbreaking, even if your house is there, to know that one of the most, what I always thought was one of the most beautiful neighborhoods in Los Angeles is just gone. My elementary school is gone. My high school is half gone. Most of my friends have lost their homes.
Residents who return are faced with devastation.
And we were asked to evacuate, so we grabbed whatever we could, threw it in the car and left. And then now returning, this is what's left. Everything is decimated. The town is decimated.
Emergency crews warn the next 48 hours are critical.
And so we'll be following along with more updates on what's happening with those wildfires. Meantime, back here, downtown Orlando, we'll have another traffic alert. I know we just talked to Trooper Steve. This one's for construction. This will involve them creating some better drainage around some busy stretches of roadway. So construction starts today along Summerlin Avenue, and this will go in phases. The city's massive water infrastructure improvement project underway, spanning from South Street to Mark Street. And it's to replace the outdated infrastructure from the 1930s, believe it or not. So expect workers on the road Monday through Friday, 7 a.m. to 5 p.m. if you are someone who drives and rides around downtown Orlando. Now to a project not too far away in the Paramore neighborhood. Leaders in Orlando set to vote on whether to fund a project to provide free Wi-Fi for the neighborhood. It's part of the city's future-ready city master plan, aiming to bridge the gap between access to technology for all people. So here's News 6's Mark Lehman explaining what this initiative would mean for Paramore.
It's expensive. I guess it'll kind of take a little toll off of us.
Lee Garner works as a barber in Paramore. He's seen how many face financial struggles every day, and that's why he's excited to learn about a plan to bring free Wi-Fi to the neighborhood.
So the city's exploring this free Wi-Fi program. What do you think about that?
I think it'd be beneficial for the neighborhood. You know, I'm always a product of Paramore, and I love it.
Today, the City Council is voting to approve mapping of Wi-Fi access points in Paramore. It's funded through Accelerate Orlando, which uses American Rescue Plan federal funds to tackle community challenges.
Paramore is the neighborhood where we think we have the biggest need. So many of our residents can't afford to have high-speed internet in their home in Paramore.
Michael Hess is spearheading the project. He says census data shows nearly 50% of people in Paramore lack quality internet access.
If you lack that access, it can really set you back. So we're trying to make sure that everyone has access to internet and technology.
Hess says this is the first of several communities they're looking at for free Wi-Fi. It's all with the goal of bridging the digital divide.
I just think anything that helps knowledge, like Wi-Fi, and give me access to everything, I think it's a great thing. I do.
And we'll be back with more news updates for you. Keep it here. Welcome back. We are 1 week to President-elect Donald Trump's inauguration. Some of his selections for top cabinet positions will spend the next few days in some questioning on Capitol Hill. CBS's Naomi Ruckham explains more about some of the nominees still working to shore up more votes in these final hours.
In the week leading up to President-elect Donald Trump's second term, 13 cabinet picks will face confirmation hearings this week. It's the first time senators will have the chance to publicly question the nominees, and the process kicks off with one of the most controversial, Pete Hegseth, up for Secretary of Defense.
He certainly has the qualities that we need to lead the Pentagon. He has a distinguished record of service in the military.
New Senate Majority Whip Republican John Barrasso expressed confidence in Hegseth despite allegations of sexual misconduct, excessive drinking, and financial mismanagement. Accusations the former Fox News host denies.
Every senator gets to speak for themselves, and they will do that.
But some Democrats want Hegseth's FBI background check to be made available to the entire committee.
There is not a job that's more serious and more critical to our national security than Secretary of Defense.
On Wednesday, other nominees will face questions on the Hill, including Pam Bondi, the pick to lead the Justice Department, who was accused of spreading since disproven theories about election fraud back in 2020 when she was part of Trump's legal team. Hearings for some of Trump's other top picks are still not scheduled, including controversial pick for Health and Human Services, Robert F. Kennedy Jr. Naomi Ruckham, CBS News, New York.
And News 6 is following along with everything happening in Washington. We'll have full coverage of all the events around the inauguration. Our own News 6 anchor Matt Austin is headed to Washington, D.C. And we're also bringing you stories that have those Florida connections as well. So you'll see those in our newscasts leading up to that and anytime, really. So just look for those reports, and all of that begins on this Sunday coming. So look for our special coverage there on the inauguration here and on WKMG and clickorlando.com. New this morning, a cautionary tale about elaborate schemes to fool even the most careful people. A Port Orange man is sharing a story. He lost more than $100,000 in a timeshare scheme, and he contacted investigator Lewis Bolden after seeing one of our schemes and ripoffs reports. Here's Lewis.
It's really a ton of money that's gone.
77-year-old Bob Hoven has strong feelings after losing over $100,000 in an elaborate scheme.
It's just devastating. It's been a nightmare.
Hoven was contacted by an alleged real estate company claiming to be working with his timeshare company, Diamond Resorts. Diamond had been acquired by Hilton. They told him he owned stock in Diamond and that Hilton wanted to buy it. Seemed enticing. $61,000 for stock he didn't know he had.
This realty company offered me to sign a contract, and they would broker selling the stock for me.
They sent a contract. He just needed to pay 10%, $6,100 to the broker to get the $61,000. But the scheme unraveled quickly. After he paid the $6,100, they asked for another $4,800 for a recording fee.
They were guaranteeing me one more payment and I would get my money.
Then a series of fees started to pour in. Hovind wired another $22,000 for an alleged corporate tax, another $15,000 for a so-called ledger fee. They even told him he owed the IRS. Each time, Hovind was assured the next payment would be the last.
Over time, I had quite a bit of money invested in this, so I figured, well, I'll just make the one more payment.
In total, he wired more than $104,000.
You should be cautious when somebody solicitates to you without you contacting them first.
The Secret Service does investigate wire fraud, but you have to get to them within 24 hours for a better chance at recovery. Unfortunately, they say too much time has passed to recover Hovind's money. Remember, don't fall for the scheme, don't get ripped off, but if you do, email me at lbolden@wkmg.com. Getting results, I'm Louis Bolden, News 6.
Well, there was a big honor for a World War II veteran. Last week, Harold B. Gross celebrated his 100th birthday. There he is, treated to a big event at the VA Community Living Center in Orlando. He received a special certificate and a commemorative coin from congressional leaders. And when asked what advice he would give the younger generation, he said, avoid smoking, prioritize rest, and avoid too much partying with alcohol. Another tip, live an honest life. And God bless him. News 6 will be on the move, hitting the road once again. Now we're headed to Ormond Beach, so get ready. And we always bring these newscasts to different cities, monthly. We try to do it monthly as much as we can, but we want to hear from you about Ormond Beach, and we want to know about all the things that make Ormond Beach special. We were putting together special stories about this. We also want to know about problems there that need some help that we can help get results on. Head to clickorlando.com/hitstheroad and share your story ideas about Ormond Beach, and we may just use that in our upcoming newscast as well as the live show that we'll be doing from Ormond Beach. So keep it here for the latest details on that. It's going to do it for breakfast, and we'll see you a little bit later right here on News 6 Plus and clickorlando.com. Take care.